was February of 1979, and the Ayatollah Khomeini had returned to Iran, and the Shah of Iran had left the country. The Iranian Revolution was in full swing. Soon after the revolution, the Iranian hostage crisis started, and a few months thereafter, Iraq invaded Iran, and a war that killed over 1 million people had begun. During this time, millions of Iranians were exiled and left for Europe and the United States. Many of them came to Los Angeles and specifically to Beverly Hills.
It was 1982 that I began my internship for the postdoctoral school psychology credential at the Beverly Hills Unified School District after I received my PhD from USC. This coincided with the migration of many Iranian children entering the Beverly Hills schools. The district and the teachers were extremely confused and puzzled on how to deal with these children and their families, and I became a counselor, mediator, educational advocate, psychologist, cultural liaison, and at times peacemaker. Iranian families were confused, depressed, and shocked for losing their country and being in a very different environment.
I was a Beverly Hills psychologist at a time when the Iranian community came into the Beverly Hills school system. It was quite a time of chaos. In the first place, this was a population that came not because they felt coming to the United States was a better opportunity. They loved their country and they loved their life, but they were really forced into an exiled position. So if that was not traumatic enough, they came into a community and an educational system that was completely alien to what they had known in their previous experiences. And additionally, they came with an attitude that we're only here for a couple of years.
I started educating the district faced with a large number of problems, and the kids that were traumatized, didn't speak the language, and looked and acted differently. The challenges were truly immense. Iranian kids were being misdiagnosed at times as retarded or learning disabled, when the real issue was having difficulty speaking the English language. The real problem, I came to realize, was how to help and make the slow to adjust school system to pay attention to the legal and psychological needs of these newcomers.
Understanding the American system of government was the key in coming up with a solution to what Nanaz was facing in the Beverly Hills school system. What we had to do was to get involved politically. Now, by chance, I had met with Tom Bradley, who was the mayor of Los Angeles at the time, and he became very interested in the Iranian migration to Los Angeles. So I organized an event at his home for about 200 guests, and afterwards we hosted over 1,000 Iranians at the Beverly Hilton Hotel, where Tom Bradley welcomed Iranians to Los Angeles and declared March 21 as Iranian Nowruz Day. It was after this event and the formation of a number of nonprofits that I suggested to Nanaz to start the IAPA.
I founded the IAPA as a nonprofit in 1994 with my husband and a few parents, all of whom were really concerned about our children's emotional well-being and success in their schools. We had 4 basic goals: to show and convince the host community that they needed to take us seriously.
We accomplished our first goal by helping a candidate of the Board of Education win her seat with just 4 votes. With this election, the city of Beverly Hills realized the Iranian community was here to stay, could not be ignored, and could make a big difference in the city and school life.
to get the schools to make changes needed to help our children with more support, more empathy, rather than the fear of unknown and resentment. The third goal was educating everyone on cultural differences and help Iranians better assimilate, raise awareness, and increase our children's confidence. And the last goal was to raise money for the district through our seminars and events to help the schools with their needs.
I worked for Beverly Hills Unified School District for 25 years. When I first started, the big influx of Iranians had arrived in Beverly Hills, and it totally put the district into shock. 2 of our elementary schools became 40% Iranian. That was Horace Mann and Beverly Vista. And I went to all 5 schools, and I truly needed help. Nanaz was instrumental in getting me help that I needed. She was great at having seminars for the staff and then eventually for the parents. She was wonderful at helping me with special ed to make sure they understood that this was not a punishment. There was a lot of time that prejudice set in, and a lot of parents pulled their children out and put them in private school.
We now could accomplish our second goal, which was to meet the powers that ran Beverly Hills, from the mayor to the school board, and most importantly, the superintendent of the Beverly Hills schools, who at that time was Mr. Saul Levine.
At the time that Iranian students, many Iranian students, were arriving in Beverly Hills and in the high school, 1979, 1980, 1981, we began to have more and more students coming to the Beverly Hills High School. Whenever a school has a large number of new students coming into the school, there are issues that have to be addressed.
We were concerned in the district about how to handle all of these kids because they came, they didn't know English, they came without anything, and we wanted to make them feel very comfortable as possible, but there were so many. And this is where Nanaz Pirnia really filled a need in our community, and with such class. She organized the Iranian American Parent Association, and they swooped in and they helped us care for these children, provide services, for helping Iranian parents with America, with homework, with all sorts of services. She really filled a need. And she did something more. For the Iranian holidays, she made the teachers of Beverly Hills, the entire district, she made us feel like we were part of an extended family. We became part of Nowruz celebrations. We were invited to some of the most beautiful and lavish celebrations of Nowruz. And we were treated with such respect and with such love. I must admit, I didn't always have a very positive impression of the Iranian community, being familiar with the 1979 Iranian Revolution. But since then, from knowing the community, from knowing the Iranian mayor, from having had thousands of children and parents, this is a lovely community, and I am a better person for having been part of it.
As the first Iranian American mayor of Beverly Hills, and in fact of the USA, I was privileged to get this position. It didn't come easy. I came to this country with less than $100 in my pocket, and I made a commitment to make sure that I'm successful so I can lead others in my way of being successful. One of the associations that helped me a lot was the Iranian American Parents Association and Nanaz Pirnia. They help in getting my message out to the community so they can assimilate, so that they can get involved not only in politics but in community service. I'm very grateful to Iranian American Parents Association for helping me and making me more successful.
I'm a special education teacher, newly retired. I was with Beverly Hills Unified for 37 years. When I was a new teacher, I became very familiar with the Iranian population. Many students came into our school district, and many needed to have some special education assessment. And I think the IAPA did a tremendous amount in trying to bridge a lot of gaps with understanding kids with special needs and what types of assessment they needed, and making sure that they were properly placed in the correct programs in our district.
I absolutely feel that IPA is a crucial component to the city of Beverly Hills. Someone who was born and raised in Beverly Hills and has been part of the Beverly Hills Unified School District for the past 40 years, I have seen up close and personal the enrichment that many of those who came from Iran have made to our community and to our schools.
As president of the Beverly Vista Parents Association, or what's commonly called the PTA, I realized that with so many new families moving into the community, that we needed to do something to bring these two cultures together, the Iranians and the Americans.
And I realized there were a lot of people who had come into our community who, if they had their choice, might not be here. And we talked about how important it was to do something so they became involved in the life of the community, and through their culture and their involvement, they got more involved and they nurtured our community as well. And I think the Iranian American Parents Association should be applauded for not only introducing the culture of the Iranian people to us and make our city a better place, but also for their efforts in getting people from the Iranian community involved in the schools.
The IAPA has been a great community resource for so many years, and I so admire the work that they've done, providing all kinds of information about elections and issues, and simply explaining to people how to engage more fully in the community's civic process. I also truly appreciate personally the work that the IAPA has done throughout the years, not only to bring the Iranian American community to know a little bit more about the rest of the community, but to teach those of us who are not Iranians the beauty and the culture and the grandeur of the customs and the culture and the holidays. And finally, I really admire the IAPA's outreach to our youth of all backgrounds and nationalities to teach them the importance of sound, responsible, healthy choices. And so I thank them and wish them many more years of success and working together.
When IAPA started, we joined, and it was a wonderful program because the Persian parents, they were a little bit inhibited to get involved with the school district, and IAPA was a wonderful vehicle to help parents of different cultures, but particularly Persian, to be involved with the school system. I became a commissioner as a liaison from the family to the community, but it was a wonderful program. It's a great organization, and I'm very happy to be a part of it.
I remember one year, it was the first day of kindergarten, very exciting, and a lovely, adorable little girl walked into my kindergarten classroom, and her name was Roxy. And I thought to myself, I think this is going to be a very special year. And boy, was I right, because then I met Roxy's mother, who is Nanaz Pirnia. And that year for Nowruz, we celebrated with a beautiful table spread with delicious food and listened to fun music and did some fun dancing. And we learned. And then El Rodeo had its multicultural dinner, which was for staff and El Rodeo families. Then the Beverly Hilton Hotel had a Nowruz celebration for all the district. We built bridges. We shared our commonalities. These are some of the memories that I will always cherish.
I'm happy to be here today. Nanaz Perina was a good friend. She got me involved in her charity, Iranian American Parents Association. I enjoyed working with her and I enjoyed helping her, and I will help her throughout the thing, make it a very successful event.
Thank you so much for listening to me and watching this great documentary that is being put by the IAPA, helping children, helping family to confront the issue of drugs in our society. Her work has been an incredible work, and we have seen thousands of kids and families coming to events to help our society.
Eid Shoma Mubarak. When I was a young adolescent, typical adolescent, I actually really didn't like these Nowruz events, and I didn't like these celebrations from the IAPA because I wasn't comfortable in my identity as a young teenage Iranian/American confused in the Beverly Hills school system.
My full name is Ardashir, and when I was in school, it was the most fearful thing for me the first day of school because I was so scared of how the teacher was going to say my name. And when we talk about bridging a cultural gap, it's something that a lot of people don't understand how important it is, especially for the children of all the Iranians who struggled so hard to come here and start their life again.
And now we stand before you celebrating the 20th anniversary of the Iranian American Parents Association, celebrating Nowruz, and I stand before you as a young Iranian American female that's very proud of my heritage, of my people, of my culture and my history, and of my hybrid identity.
It's something that in a lot of places it couldn't happen, but because this country is so great and so accepting, my mom, Dr. Pirnia, and so many others stepped in and came to schools. They put seminars on, not for money, not just for us, but for their community.
As an Iranian American youth, someone who was born and raised here, has never been to his motherland, is to realize the privilege one has being here and realizing all the generation before me has worked so hard to really create a home, an ecosystem here in Los Angeles and Beverly Hills.
What makes me so proud to be an IAPA member is the fact that we have lasted for 22 years. And a big part of this success is due to the help and support of the Persian media. KIRN 670 AM Radio Iran, Persian Radio, Rah Zendegi Magazine, Asr Emroz Newspaper, Javanan Magazine, Tehran Magazine, IranianHotline.com, Asr Emroz TV, IRTV, Omid Iran TV, Iran TV, Pars TV, and Kitab Corporation.
In 2010, the Iranian American Parents Association launched a program called One Life to Live, sponsored by Stanley and Joyce Black and Warren Ackerman.
And today's purpose, I believe, is to help us learn how to manage our mind, how to do a better job And Dr. Pernia is going to tell us more about how to do that.
One Life to Live is a 5-step certified program under the leadership of Sheriff Baka and the Sheriff Department. And we're planning to help you realize what real life is about.
We're on our way to visit the Twin Towers and Men's Central Jail in downtown LA. On arrival, we were met by Sheriff Baka's team and escorted to view the facilities.
The tips of your fingers will be on the person's shoulder next to you. When you talk about self-discipline, if I can't learn to control myself, if you're smoking weed or you have the smell of alcohol and I pull you over, I guarantee I'm jerking you out of the car and I'm going to be in your Kool-Aid so much you will not like me.
So the Voyager, where all the first planetary images came back, that was here, and you're seeing.
First of all, congratulations to all of you. It's a pretty big deal because you're the first group, right?
From here, I challenge you to become leaders in your community.
The point of all this is you guys now know the bad and the good that's out there.
Then someday one of you is going to be standing here like me, wearing this badge or some other responsible position you'll hold.
The Honorable Sheriff, and get your badge and your diploma.
As a member of IAPA and parent of 3 children, I witnessed how all of IAPA activities brought our community together, made our children so proud and self-confident. As a One Life to Live program coordinator, I saw how teenagers who were in our programs benefited personally, and they were making life-changing decisions.
All right, good morning.
Oh, you're Mr. Loud.
I'm going to tell you right now, while I'm talking, you're not. You understand that?
As a parent of teenager, all of the IAPA events helped my family better integrate into American way of life. However, the One Life to Live program woke up my son to the dangers of not thinking and the consequences of making bad decisions. What is interesting with the One Life to Live program is how my son was originally not interested in participating, but with my insistence, he finally agreed to attend the 5-step program and visit the LA County Jail. Today, he feels this was one of the best experiences he's ever had.
I'm so happy I decided to join the IAPA and work with them. Most exciting for me is to see how many of these young children have now become successful with the difference we made in their lives.
As a concerned parent that attended the first IAPA parents meeting, I immediately joined the IAPA and became one of the first members of the board of directors. I remember our first Nowruz party that was held at Mrs. Yunai's home, where we had about 70 parents and school dignitaries attend. The next time we held it at Tikva Nemani's home with about 200 attendees. The third session we held at Mr. and Mrs. Shokrian's home, where over 1,000 school parents and dignitaries showed up. These events kept growing until we had over 20,000 people attend the Beverly Hills High School football field. After having such a turnout, Mr. Benny Al-Ajam, the owner of Beverly Hilton Hotel, invited us to move our Nowruz parties to his hotel. The Beverly Hilton became our second home as we began scheduling most of our programs, including DUI seminar attended by over 1,000 parents and their children in partnership with the Beverly Hills Police. I truly believe that these cultural and educational events helped bridge the gap and brought everyone together to celebrate diversity.
As a producer and host for many years for the Iranian media,
television and radio. I had the pleasure of working with Iranian American Parents Association of Beverly Hills from day one with its founder, Dr. Nanaz Pirnia, and we've had many seminars, many programs that I had, again, a pleasure of either being an MC or a moderator. I must admit, all Iranian medias were very supportive with helping and be with IAPA from day one until today.
One of the exciting aspects of our Nowruz parties were our exhibitors. They were there to help us show off Iranian culture and our heritage. From our beautiful carpets to exotic design of our jewelry, over the years we probably had over 500 cultural displays and exhibitors. We also had local educational organizations and non-profits from the Beverly Hills community. As an example, in one of our events, we had over 300 businesses signed up for the Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce, and we referred hundreds of patients to the Maple Counseling Center.
As someone who is proud to be Iranian and loves the Iranian culture, I was so excited to experience my first Nowruz Gala at the Beverly Hilton. It was so well planned and had the right mix between Iranian cultural program and presentation. That is really interested our local American hosts. In fact, I have never seen such a gathering that both Iranian and American enjoyed so much. What was most enjoyable for me personally was the beautiful way aspects of Iranian heritage was presented through music, food, film, art, and displays. As a mother and the producer of a daily radio show, I got to know the challenges that the community were facing. Parents were dealing with children who wanted to be more American and then try to be Iranian at home. And this conflict created a world of unknown to be discovered. So the parents needed to be educated to know exactly what is going on in the heart and the mind of the children. And the parents simply didn't know any better. So IAPA came along, educating them, helping them, holding their hands, going through the challenges and the difficulties of the pleasant job of parenting. I remember they came up with ideas of theatrical shows, and I had the pleasure of performing in few of them, showing what needs to be done and what is usually being done. And then the audience could actually see the difference that they can create in their own lives and in the lives of their children. Some of them were really very well received and made quite an impact in their lives. IAPA has done a great job and will continue to create that bridge between the two wonderful cultures and be a guide, a friend to the parents who need them most.
فرصت نمی‌کنم که یه دقیقه کار زندگی خودم پای تلفن با تو حرف بزنم. این بچه نمیذاره. بعد بهت زنگ میزنم. مواظب باش ماما، ناخونمو خراب کردی تازه درست کردم.
ولی ماما یه تو مدرسه گرفتم.
خیلی خوب، حالا چی بود اینقدر یعنی ازش من یک کلمه با این خالت صحبت کنم؟ چه خبره؟
مگه اینا چند سالش میگه هم دیگه نماچ میکنن؟ چی مزخرفاتی آدم میشنوه؟ برو دهن تو بکش دیگه. از این مزخرفات من اصلا از این حرفا خوشم نمیاد. خیلی حرکت زشتی کردن بچهای نیم وجبی.
One of the great success of the IAPA, Iranian American Parent Association, was to interest not only the Iranian media to cover our events, but also the local American media like the LA Times, the Beverly Hills Courier, the Beverly Hills Weekly, Voice of America, and Beverly Hills Times.
Soon after joining the board of directors of IAPA, I was asked to fill the CFO position that had been vacated. This allowed me to manage the IAPA finance. What was so special with the IAPA was how it had no overheads. We also had the help of Beverly Hills Chamber of Commerce, who provided the staff and support at the entrance and a final accounting overview of the process and expenses to certify our donations. In addition to having wonderful support in the Iranian community,
as a parent of a teenager, my son attended the One Life to Live program, visiting the jail and correctional facility. The impact of seeing drug addicts and criminals made him to become a successful young man today. I think this program should be mandatory for all teenagers.
As the president of the board of directors of International Society for Children with Cancer, on behalf of all of our ISCC board members, I would like to thank IAPA and to congratulate everyone who's involved with this wonderful organization for 22 years of incredible service to our community. A number of our board members were invited to attend the April 17th One Life to Live program. We were all extremely impressed. So ISCC decided to help support IAPA and bring this incredible program, The Age of Anxiety, to a new audience in Orange County on October 9th. Congratulations again, and our best wishes for the continued success of IAPA and the One Life to Live program for many, many more years to come.
22 years of service, and I believe IAPA has been quite successful and instrumental in helping the Iranian American families to better assimilate, to adapt, and to be a better citizen in America. Looking forward to the future, our hope is to take the One Life to Live program to every family and every household and help families to not only stay safe, but to be able to better communicate and become closer as a family unit.